Welcome back to the All-Time Rosters Franchise Injury Report Week 4. Another busy week of injuries across the league, including this guy who's out for the season, Terry Glenn. With Randy Moss out and now Glenn, the Patriots are forced to bring in the guy they cut in the preseason, Deion Branch, the Super Bowl 39 MVP. He joins the already loaded list led by Stanley Morgan, who played well last week, Wes Welker, Troy Brown, Julian Edelman, Ben Coates, and there's Branch to round out the new receiving corps for New England. Lois Wright will also miss the season with a torn pectoral muscle on this tackle of Sterling Sharp. So perennial All-Pro Justin Simmons joins Atwater and Smith in the new Denver secondary. Defensive end Trey Hendrickson will miss 9 games with a broken collarbone, so the man unofficially with the most sacks in a season in Bengal history with 21.5, Coy Bacon, is now in there as starter. Big loss out of Detroit as free safety Yale Larry will miss 7 games with a broken wrist. So 3-time NFL champion Jim David will join Benny Blades and cornerback Darius Slay out there at the safety spot for Detroit. The Panthers were humiliated last week in Chicago, and then to make matters worse, Brian Burns is out for another 2 games with an abdominal tear. So in a very thin linebacking core, James Anderson is their new starter. This is one tough football player in Baltimore. Cornerback Marlon Humphrey breaks his ribs and is only out for 3 weeks for the Ravens. So their new secondary, albeit relatively thin, is led by cornerback Chris McAllister, followed by Lardarius Webb and Dwayne Starks. Weddle and Landry have to round out the cornerback room in Baltimore. With Lawyer Malloy now out for the next 2 weeks with broken ribs, Rodney Harrison is the new starter at strong safety with Merriweather in at number 2. The Raiders' Terry McDaniel, Van McElroy, and Charles Woodson is in for the injured Jack Tatum, who herniated his disc and is out for 4 games. The Bills' secondary takes another hit with Tre'Davious White out for 4 games with a broken collarbone. Bird, Odoms, Clements, and McGee in at corner. Luckily for Buffalo, they return their 2 starters at safety, George Sames to the free safety position, and at strong safety, it's Henry Jones, who joins Steve Freeman at that spot for Buffalo. The Bills will play Philadelphia this coming Sunday. Here's a look at the complete list of injuries for the All-Time Rosters franchise. At the top, Donnie Edwards is set to return next week for San Diego, Los Angeles. And there are 4 guys out for the season, with many more set to inevitably get injured for the year. We'll see new additions for the All-Time Rosters franchise. Stay tuned every Monday morning for the injury report and roster update show of the All-Time Rosters franchise with Charger Dude 95.